Hey, I am in my backyard and we are going to act out moon phases and eclipses. So if you've tried to understand moon phases and eclipses using diagrams or maybe animations, that's great. But what I'm going to try to do tonight, once it gets dark, is actually use a bright light source to represent the sun and a globe to represent the earth and another ball to represent the moon. We'll cast actual shadows and we'll act out moon phases and eclipses. So just to show you the setup here while it's light, this is a 1,000 watt light bulb. Look at that. And that's going to be inside this translucent globe, and that's going to represent the sun. And then over here, I have two tripods. So there is the Earth and the moon, and I can move the tripods like that. So there's the moon more or less in new moon position, and we're going to go over all that tonight in the dark. But I wanted you to see the setup in the light, and we will come back once it's dark and act out moon phases and eclipses. Notice that the moon is half lit. Notice that the moon is half lit. And as we move to new moon, it's half lit. We move to first quarter moon. It is half lit as seen from above. And at full moon, it is half lit. And here we are back at third quarter. So regardless of where the moon is in its orbit around the Earth, half of it is lit, the half facing the sun, and half is dark, the half facing away from the sun. But the viewpoint from the Earth is very different. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cell phone and I'm going to put it right here where the Earth is. I'm going to put a little stand for the cell phone and we'll see the viewpoint from the Earth as the moon orbits. I've now removed the Earth and I've put the cell phone in its place. And here we are looking at the moon. We're at third quarter. We are 1 week before new moon. And what we're going to do is we're going to follow as the moon orbits. See how the moon has taken on a crescent shape, and it's getting thinner. We call that waning crescent. And now we're coming up towards the sun. Tiny, tiny, very thin crescent, waning crescent still. And now this is new moon. Notice that the moon is not covering up the sun. And this actually happens most months where the new moon does not pass directly in front of the sun. In this case, it's going a little bit above the sun. Let's look at the shadows of the Earth and the moon on this board. And you can see that the moon is actually passing above the Earth. The shadow of the moon is missing the Earth. This new moon, we're seeing only the dark half of the moon. So we don't see it at all, and the new moon is only up when the sun is up. Let's continue past new moon. And you're starting to see a crescent. Starting to see a crescent now. And it's getting fatter. So we say it's waxing. This is a waxing crescent moon. It continues waxing until about 1 week after new moon. This is called first quarter because we're 1/4 of the way around in the orbit. As we continue, this is called gibbous. You can think of the gibbous shape as like a full circle with a crescent missing, more than half lit. It's getting fatter, so this is waxing crescent. And here we are 1 week after first quarter, 2 weeks after new moon, and we are at full moon. And continuing in our orbit, we are gibbous again. It's a waning gibbous. I'm going to come around the other side so I don't block or cast a shadow. As we continue around, waning gibbous until we're 90 degrees from the moon. Sorry, we're 90 degrees from the sun again. And this is third quarter. 1 week after full moon, 3 weeks after new, and 1 week prior to the next new moon. So as we continue, we once again have a waning crescent moon until we reach new moon again.